1 second, gentlemen. We're just making sure that the live stream is flowing. Someday I shall have assistance with all of this. Yay! Okay. Gotcha. Shh. She got to quiet down. Okay. I need you to be quiet now. Oh, that's you. Okay, chill. Hi, everyone. Welcome to the Edible Spirit full moon live stream for this full moon in Libra in this month that is 2018, which we find ourselves in. This is not the same as the full-on heavy-duty equinox moment that we just had. When we did a full-on interactive ritual. I'm going to give you some suggestions for ritual today. Hi, guys. Sweet, cute things that you can do in this moment. But this is the regular broadcast that we're trying to bring to you every couple weeks, every full moon, every new moon, wherever I may be in the world, whatever we may be doing at the time of the full moon and new moon, we're going to check in with you. And I see you all popping up in comments in various places, and I'm here for you. So if you have questions, fire them at me. I'm going to do my best to answer all of them for you. But otherwise, I'm just going to be amazing and talk to you and tell you about what's going on and what's happening in this moment. And that's actually what I want to start with. Why should we do this? Why should we actually be here every couple weeks checking in with each other? Well, because everything I do with Edible Spirit is meant to take the spiritual stuff that's super intense and super powerful, sometimes esoteric, hidden, complicated, intense, and to make it more manageable, more accessible, more digestible. Edible Spirit. Edible is food, shit, life, death, right? Spirit, magic, love, amazingness, ascension, evolution, all of that stuff. And there's that old statement, are we spiritual, physical beings having a spiritual experience or spiritual beings having a physical experience? Why can't we be both, right? So why can't we be both physical and spiritual? Why does all the spiritual stuff often, I don't know about you, maybe you feel great spiritually all the time, but I tend to feel, especially before I was doing all this work full time, I felt terrible. I always felt like I was missing the mark. I always felt like I wasn't spiritual enough. And there's this sense amongst all of us old farts, and especially amongst all of the children, the young people that are coming up, that this whole spiritual thing doesn't have to be so dumb and boring and complicated and annoying and, pressurized. It shouldn't be making me feel less good than I already do. It should be making me feel better than I already do, right? Better, always better than I already do. And so that's the thing, though, is that we don't just get pure spirit. We find these moments of access to spirit, right? Because we're not just purely spiritual beings. We're spiritual beings in these physical experiences, physical beings having these spiritual experiences. So when we come to these impressive moments of the equinoxes, the solstices, the full moons, the new moons, even big astrological moments when a planet changes signs, whatever that is, all of those are actually crossover points where the difference and the distance between the physical and spiritual is just like tweaked or twerked or made, more potent, where the conflict between spirit and matter is just less conflicted and more easily accessed. So, but the thing is that you can think about it. You can be like, I'm going to be spiritual. I'm going to plug into the full moon today. That is enough, right? If you've got a crazy fucking life and you don't have time to sit and watch this video, then please, while you're in your car on your way doing whatever it is that you have to do, pause and be like, yo, I'm here. This shit is crazy. My heart is open. Everything is miserable. Everything is wonderful. And I'm here. Happy full moon. Oh, let's get rid of some of the crap that doesn't work. And let's be grateful for all the crap that does work. Power of gratitude in a full moon moment doses your shit up with all of the potency of the full moon. And we're going to talk about what that full moon moment is in just a moment. But my point is there's an actual anarchistic, revolutionary reason to be plugging in with the full moons, new moons, whatever you're called to plug into, whenever you're called to plug into it. Why? The Gregorian calendar is a little bit fucked up, right? Came out of religions and, what's it called? Pope Gregory, right? And my feeling is that it's not wrong, but it's not quite right. It's always keeping us just a little bit off center, a little bit away from what the ancient societies, what the ancient civilizations, our forebears and ancestors used to know, which is they could sense these moments where the magic was strong, where the light was high, where it was easier to connect to whatever there was to connect to. And you don't need me to tell you that full moons be crazy and that when you experience them, you're like, huh, that full moon was like that full moon, but it was a little different from this one, but this is how they're the same and that's how they're different. So my point is that people used to know that there was magic, that there was power coming from the invisible into the tangible at these moments, these nexus points between spirit and matter, when, for whatever reason, the observable phenomena, the physical phenomena that they could see, the eclipses, the suns, the moons, the moon rising high, a star coming out in a certain place, they started to notice that there were correspondences between those phenomena and the stuff that's happening inside. And when you have observed correspondences between external phenomena and internal stuff popping off, guess what that is? Observed external phenomena, observed internal changes. It's called meaning. We can actually give our lives meaning by connecting with these natural cycles that are flowing in us and around us whenever possible. And my point is, I'm not a conspiracy theorist, but if there is a vast conspiracy of any kind designed to keep us away from knowing ourselves and from feeling our power and from connecting to the power inside of ourselves that's aligned with observable physical phenomena upon the outsides of ourselves, I would bet damn well sure that if anyone wants to keep us away from that power, they're going to try to get us not to observe the new moons, not to pause with the full moons, not to understand astrology, not to look deeply inside of yourself, not to change, not to grow, not to heal. And that's my whole point. We're doing this now every couple weeks to give you an opportunity to align with the natural rhythmic cycles of the observable universe, sun cycles, moon cycles, solar cycles, seasonal cycles. Because when you check into that space, it doesn't matter if someone comes along and says, oh, you're powerless, you're stupid, you don't get anything. You should just sit down and shut up and close your legs and open and close your eyes and close your mouth and close everything. Just do that, right? When you plug into a full moon moment, when you do a fucking sound bath, when you get a great reading, you don't need anybody to tell you that you're a piece of shit, because you can actually connect to the power inside of you that's like, or am I perfectly aligned with the sun and the moon and all the stuff that's popping off around you that you can't control, right? Maybe I can't control it either, but if I go inside and if I use these natural cycles and these, ancient traditions, indigenous traditions, magical traditions, spiritual traditions, that gives me and you and all of us the opportunity to align with power, which just may be right out of our reach, but also right there all the time. So that's why we're coming together with you every couple of weeks to do this. And I think maybe I'll pull some cards for you and talk about the elemental readings, but I just want to go a little bit more into the full moon and see what actually comes out of the full moon. Suggestions for easy, functional, DIY, powerful rituals that are maybe a little bit longer than you being like, full moon, thank you, let go of shit. That's a ritual, right? If you do it the same way every time, if you repeat the motion and you do it in synchronicity with this moon, which is moving literally like clockwork, and maybe actually more like clockwork than our stupid clocks, right? Oh, look, there it goes. Oh, look, there it goes. I mean, I hate to say it, but I don't hate to say it. I love to say it. It's one of the reasons why women are held in such deep mistrust and suspicion by powerful/powerless white men, right? Is because your vagines actually keep time with the natural cycles of the fucking universe. Again, if you want to keep people out of their power, trying to convince them that whatever's flowing between their legs is not connected to anything that's good around them, right? Let alone providing like an early eye calendar made of blood. I love you guys. Okay. So the whole point of this too is when we get into these cycles of time, which like to repeat themselves every couple of weeks with the moon, every month with the sun, what we're actually doing is we're finding power from something other than accumulation and consumption. We're tapping into natural sources of power, natural affinities between sun, moon, stars, planets, all that stuff. And when we do ritual, what we're doing is we're using a physical anchor of some kind. My buddy Dan, who's the hypnotist, says all the time that all hypnosis is self-hypnosis. And to some extent, these rituals work because we put ourselves into a kind of trance by raising our state, but we don't just go right to spirit. We go into spirit by using physical stuff, by using anchors. So today, to bring the power of this ritual in this moment to you, I've brought together, as is my tendency to do, reflections of all of the elements, right? So I have, for Earth, I have this gorgeous labradorite. Can you feel the magic from the labradorite? Ooh, shimmery. Ooh, it's pretty. Labradorite. Oh, hey, rainbow. Labradorite, shimmery. So nice, right? We got a fire for protection, candle, right? Fire element. We've got this sage, wonderful sage, which even though it is lit, it is actually representing air, standing in here for air. Just watch that smoke going up into the air. Sage, sage, sage. We love the sage. And then also we got some water. Beautiful water, and oh, hey, and there's some holy water in here from my homegirl Harriet and the Star. If you don't follow her, you should be. She's amazing. So we've got all of these elements here. Why? Because we're pulling in, the elements are connected to, what Earth is made of: earth, air, water, fire, and then spirit, the etheric element, right? The spirit, ether. The fifth element, which is unleashed and opened up when all of these other elements of earth, air, water, and fire are in balance. So you see, that's a perfect example. We call upon earth, air, water, and fire, these tangible, physical, manifested forces that we can see, that we're familiar with. We know the feeling of heat and a cool breeze and a refreshing water and grounding dirt, sand, all that stuff. But when we invoke them magically, we're bringing in the building blocks of the earth, and by calling upon them magically, we actually open up our access to the spirit. So it's another great example of physical anchors of these invisible forces that allow us to transcend the physical and connect to those bigger forces. So when we do ritual, we just bring an intention and to our moment, right? In this case, our ritual is to honor the full moon and this moment of the full moon. And then we plug into traditions from the past and from other, lineages to try to understand, what are the traditional or associated ways of honoring these moments, right? And we can check into what are the planets associated, what are the energies associated with it. The energy of a new moon is totally different from the energy of a full moon, right? New moon vibes, there's no moon in the sky. We don't see anything because the sun and the moon are actually conjunct each other in the same place, right? So we don't pick up any of the accumulated reflection. We get a chance to unplug, check out, and it's actually a beautiful, quiet, still space for starting new projects, for calling things into manifestation. Very powerful kind of a moment of suspension, right? Equinox, right? Equal moments, sun and light. So all of the stuff that we did last time for the equinox pulls on that idea of balance, masculine, feminine, yin, yang, God, goddess, all that is, right? Now we're in the full moon. Big fucking mamma jamma that's grown over the last couple weeks. So whatever we're honoring right now, we're honoring the fullness of it. We're not honoring the emptiness of something. We're honoring the fullness of something. And just to slide right into it, the idea is, and again, yes, we're honoring that invisible, the power of that invisible force, that invisible fullness, the principle of the full moon, by trying to anchor this in physical practice so that and this is again, all in response to why are we showing up here every week? Because you can think about that stuff. You can do those brief little momentary rituals in which you pull in energy, pull in light into yourself just by thinking about it, because we are that fucking powerful. We can hypnotize our consciousness into a state of quiescence, which brings in all of the power that we're calling in. But I don't know about you, but I usually need a little more help than that, right? So that's why anchors help. Sage helps, water helps, fire helps, all these lovely little tangible things which anchor us in the moment, because you have to put your physical body through something in order to make this magic anchor on the physical plane. Samantha Stevens, whenever she did magic, she had to wiggle her nose. Ritual, right? That's how she accessed her power. Oh, bless you, baby. Thank you. That's how she accessed her power. Hi, everyone. Hi, So Retrograde. I love you, girls. I'll see you later. You guys, I'm doing a live event with That's So Retrograde. That's So Retrograde live tonight, where we're doing aura picks for the VIPs at Wanderlust. Hi, Lalita. Yes. Okay, so the whole idea is we show up every couple weeks. We do this stuff, especially when we don't feel like it, because what's the difference between doing ritual and not doing ritual? Well, in one case, you put your body through something. In the other case, you don't. You know, in the other case, you don't put yourself through something. So therefore, it's not really ritual. You have to go through those physical moments, those physical actions. And I tell myself this all the time when I don't feel like doing something ritualistic at the appropriate moment. You know, I pay respect and pay homage to all my deities, my gods and goddesses, my guides, my ancestors on the days of their death, on the days of their birth. You know, those are also moments where you can access spiritual power by doing stuff with your body that you don't necessarily feel like doing. Guess why? Because when you do that stuff with your body, you're also putting your emotions and your mind through it. So you go through these physical presentations, these physical displays of ritual that are in line with the meaning of the moment, the traditions of the moment, the power of the moment. And if you don't put your body through anything, you can't suck on the power, right? And this is not a bummer. This is just how creation works. This also happens when people get like junkie cracked out on the law of attraction. You know, I've looked at that stuff some, but not, you know, not a ton. But the idea too is that it's not just solo creation, it's co-creation. You don't just sit there and intend your butt off. You intend, and then you got to do a little something. You grease the wheel, you take opportunities, you say yes, you learn lessons. You know, you've got to put some physical power in, elbow grease, in order to make the spirit stuff open up, okay? and yet, at the same time, I feel like people get us to think, and especially people in my line of work, right, get us to think that we need to go through these long, ding, 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 complicated rituals. But like, why? Just because, you know, this wellness center says we have to, or because this lineage? Just by all means, if you're plugged into a lineage, do the rituals of the lineage. That's how you're going to gain the fruit of the lineage. The lineage has been doing these rituals for longer than you or I have. And so you follow the rules if you're affiliating with a crew or affiliating with a school. But here at Edible Spirit, we do not subscribe to unnecessary affiliation. I don't need you to believe anything. I don't need you to believe in me. I don't need you to believe in a word that I'm saying. But if it vibes, if it feels good, and especially if you put your body through the paces, if you put yourself through the motions, then you shouldn't need me to need you to believe anything. You should experience whatever you experience and trust and believe. I'm going to be very interested in your experience because it's only going to add to my own subjective awareness and understanding of the truth, of what the difference is between a full moon, a new moon, an equinox, a solstice, a waning gibbous moon, a waxing moon, you know, whatever it is. Okay. So the whole point is we got to do this stuff so that we can talk about it with each other, so that we can take our power back, right? And be as we are in the moment, doing what we need to do, accomplishing what we need to accomplish, right? Serving how we need to serve, loving how we need to love. Okay. So here, let's talk a little bit more. We'll see what happens if we get to individual readings. So in terms of today's full moon is full moon in Libra. It was exact this morning at 5:30 something, 5:36, 5:37 a.m. Powerful, beautiful moment. Remembering full moon is sun in Aries, right? The sign of I am here. I am. I. Opposite moon in Libra, the sign of we, or really of you, right? The sign of the other, the sign of diplomacy, balance, the scales, justice, right? Beautiful, beautiful energy. And again, you know, I'm not an astrologer, but my practice is getting more astrologically inflected because Just because I'm not an astrologer doesn't mean I don't get to benefit from understanding the sun and moon cycles, right? And I try to keep it simple. Like I said to you last stream, I don't care about a quincunx so much, or an inconjunct, whatever minutia of the aspects. I'm not there yet. Maybe I'll be there someday. But for now, I refuse to miss out on the power of the sun, moon, stars, Neptune, Pisces, Aquarius, simply because I don't have like an astrology site or something like that. And also for you guys who know, like I do weekly readings that are astrologically inflected, but I don't feel like an astrologer. And okay, I don't feel that way. So I'm offering this up to you so that you and I can, so that we can learn from this stuff in a way that's more intuitive, more common sense, more guided, more about this internal awareness plus the observable external phenomena. So that's what I'll tell you. So even though I read astrology and I zoom through stuff that's going on, I'm way less interested in what is going on in the sky that makes us feel this way, way more interested in, why the fuck are we all feeling this way? Why are we all feeling this way? And what are we all feeling? And what are the commonalities of experience? So that's kind of how I've dove more into astrology in my recent years. So with this cycle, the way I'm feeling it is we came out of Pisces season February to March. And there's lots of other little moments that are going on in here. But again, sun, moon, big vibes. Came out of Pisces season into March 20th, first day of spring. We moved from Pisces into Aries. Pisces was that watery, nostalgic, emotional moment. And I don't know if you guys have been feeling this, but most of the people that I've been speaking to have. There was something during that period between February 20th and March 20th, which felt very time warpy, very past, present, future, cyclical moment. And specifically in this like minus 20 to 25 years from where you are now, right? This feeling of like, I thought that person that I was 20 years ago was gone. And now I'm reconnecting to that person again. And in order to reconnect to that person who maybe I've been all along, I need to burn through all of the self-definitions, all of the limitations, the container, whatever container I was walking around in. During Pisces season, all of that dissolving, hallucinatory, trippy-dippy, watery energy actually like took away some of the crust that was going on around ourselves, took away previously very firmly held beliefs about who I am, what I'm capable of, what's going on, what's happened to me, what my story is. It's like that month was just like, or you don't have a fucking clue and everything is worse than ever. P.S. It's also you're doing better than ever. So it was this very weird time in which progress was happening, and yet it also felt like we were kind of stuck in a time warp. So my feeling is that once we kicked into Aries season, March 20th, which would be about 10 days ago, almost 2 weeks ago, it was like, OMG, here I am. I exist. I'm alive. I am not where I was, and I'm not yet where I'm going, but I'm here, right? Was the vibe of Aries season. I'm here. And then Mercury retrograde, also in Aries, comes in and shits on your head. And it's just like, oh, wait a second. Oh, wait. Oh, wait a second. Oh, you thought you had something figured out? Oh, did you think you knew who you were for a moment? No. Let's just turn that all on its head and make everything feel impossible again. Right? Oh my God. The whole year indeed has been like that. That's because someone on Insta saying the whole year's been like this, misenergized soul, right? And that the whole year has been like this. And I think that has a lot to do with Jupiter entering into Scorpio, bringing up some of this stinky growth, watery stuff. So we're all actually growing. Jupiter is moving through Scorpio, and Jupiter is also retrograde. So the Mercury retrograde and the Jupiter retrograde are actually acting kind of together to make us understand the ways in which we've grown sexually, emotionally, very relationship stuff going on here. Something's going on with one of the planets. Oh, love. Venus is entering into Venus is entering Taurus, I believe, today, right? Which also is calling up relationships. So remember that relationships are not just about who am I fucking, who am I in love with. Relationships are actually about all of us, about how we make anything and everything happen on this earth, because, you know, we are not alone as much as we might like. I was saying the other day, I was like, everything would be perfect. I would be such a fucking flawless manifester if I never had to deal with anyone or anything else. But those aren't the rules of the game on this planet. Okay, so the idea here, speaking of relationships, is that we get into that moment where we're like, oh my God, aha, I'm here. Then Mercury comes along and is like, or are you here? Maybe you need to think about that a little bit. Maybe you need to second guess yourself. So if you're anything feeling like me at this moment, as we sit here on the 31st, I'm banging my head up against the wall a little bit, because I have all of this awareness that I'm here, all of these plans, all of this inspiration, all of this energy, all of this passion. And yet I feel like I keep banging my head up against a wall. And just like it's not easy to let that expression flow, right? It's just not, it's a little too volatile. Also during this full moon, we have I can't remember if it's the sun or the moon, or I guess both of them, because they're opposite, square Mars and Saturn, which are very like aggro, aggressive, get your shit together now energies, right? And so the energy of this full moon is kind of at odds with this energy of, how do I get my shit together and get things accomplished and get snatched and, you know, feel great, right? So that brings us to full moon in Libra, right? Here we are, full moon in Libra. It's very cool vibe. So we've got sun in Aries, moon in Libra, and then Mars and Saturn are square those things in Capricorn. So it's this beautiful opposition with this beautiful conjunction between Mars and Saturn. Lots of energy, trying to bring order, trying to bring, you know, discipline, structure to get these things done. And yet Mercury is making it very difficult for us to kind of see the way out. Mercury's only retrograde actively until the, until the 15th, right? 15th of April. So a couple more weeks left. We're only about a week in. But the whole point of it is that now we reach this pinnacle, this climactic moment of the full moon in Libra, because the moon's been growing, right? Since the new moon in Aries to now this full moon in Libra. So all of that new moon stuff was about the self and about that identity and all of this power and empowerment kind of popping off. And now when we get into Libra, we really get an opportunity to calm down, to slow our roll, to remember that as we are popping off, as we are standing up for ourselves, as we are asserting our truth, asserting our self-definition, asserting our power, asserting our drive, asserting our force, asserting, Aries, right? We're also at, Passover and Easter, right? Aries is also springtime, the lamb, the ram, right? Rebirth, rejuvenation. Aries, new moon, like I'm reborn, I'm here again. And full moon in Libra would sort of be like, I'm reborn here on Earth, surrounded by other people who also have thoughts, feelings, and physical experiences as well. So it's a good opportunity for you to, in a way, it's like you almost don't have to use this energy as much as recognize that it's here, and that maybe this Libra energy, this Libra full moon will help us to find a little more balance between whatever we've released at the end of Pisces season and whatever we are asserting in this new period of Aries, in this new moment of rebirth. It's like all of this stuff is in process already anyway. You're already reborn. You're already moving forward. You've already got this passion and this fire behind you. The Mercury might be making a little frustrated and causing you to have to slow down, right? Causing you to have to like slow down and slow your roll and chill and rethink things and reorganize things and not necessarily do things at the pace that you want. So rather than being stuck in a moment of frustration because you can't do everything that you want to do at the speed that you want to do it, why not use the full moon and use that frustration to just welcome in some diplomacy, welcome in some consideration of the others in your life, the other individuals, the rest of the tribe, all of us as a whole. Yes, to balance out what was left behind in Pisces, what was taken in Aries. Fantastic. So my sense is that this is going to give you a profound, this used correctly, right? And this is the goal, used correctly, aligned with correctly, right? AKA just fucking aligned with, right? You know you're aligned when. You know you're aligned with the full moon when. In your case, you know you're aligned with the full moon when you feel some controlled, balanced, empathic tendencies, okay? When you feel empathy rise up in your heart, that's my sense. That's how you know you're using, sorry, I should add to that. Empathy in action, right? That's the takeaway, right? That's how you know you've aligned with this full moon. Empathy in action. You are no less driven. You're no less full of purpose. You're no less unapologetic about who you are, where you are, and what's going on. You've just managed to loop in that gentle awareness. The heart generates a magnetic field because of how it pumps, and some clairvoyants will see it. Some energy workers talk about it's measurable too, right? Talk about it as the shape of a torus, not TAU, but TORUS, which looks like a big magnetic donut, right? So the idea is that if you can pause, and I'm going to give you the little ritual to do this, if you can pause, if you can chill for a moment, if you can check in with yourself, in the way that I'm going to describe and align with this full moon moment, you will still be as empowered, because we're only about, halfway through, not even halfway through Aries, sun in Aries, right? And Mercury retrograde is in Aries. So this energy is not gone. It's building up, and it's going to keep containing itself, and it's going to pop off. But the idea is that we all might be a little excessive, a little extra right now, a little too aggro, a little too driven, a little too like, oh, to get their stuff done. And the idea is like, that's okay. But that's the energy. That's how the energy is. But we want to rally in the kind of general vicinity. And the way that we do that is through the exercise that I'm about to give you. We plug in, and it creates this donut of heart energy, this torus, TORUS, of heart energy around ourselves, so that as we are blazing our path through the world, generally and genuinely asserting our truths and the fact that we're here, and you might as well fucking deal with it. If you're being an asshole, right, and you're plugged in, you'll know it. Your heart will know. You'll have that deeply intuitive kind of assessment of, my actions are not happening in vacuum. My actions affect myself and everyone around me. Karma's real, bitches. It happens. Every action creates equal and opposite reactions. Every cause has an effect. Every effect has a cause. So how am I treading? How am I moving through this space? Oh, how about that? That's also nice too. I just saw this idea. It's like that triangle that we're talking about, Aries opposite Libra, with that Capricorn in the middle is fire, air, and earth. And if we get too fiery and too earthy, we can get stolid and hot, and we become like an oven and we burn. And that's cool because that's the energy of the springtime. That's the energy of the sun in Aries. But when we bring in that beautiful Libra vibe, it causes our oven. I mean, that's literally the image I got, is that of a kiln, an oven, levitating. But why are ovens awesome? Ovens are awesome because they delicious sweet things can come out of them. No, but because they're alchemical furnaces, right? They're vessels of transformation. So if we align with this Libra full moon, we become vessels of heat and fire that are focused directly in front of us, still causing us to achieve our dreams, our goals, accomplish our deliverables, right? Our projects, our products, and then ultimately also do so without being a stupid, stubborn ram. I love all my Aries brethren and sistren, but the full moon, even though it's a peaking of energy, it also brings in the energy that's opposite the sign that the sun's in, because that's why it's a full moon. Sun opposite moon, right? So Libra has all the energy in considering others that helps us to balance out overly expressed or hyper expressed Aries energy, self energy. So the energy of Libra or the other helps us to balance out the energy of Aries or the self. Here's your ritual. Very simple. It's a mirror ritual. And the idea here is if you want to bring in these examples of the elements, that's great. Bring them in. Bring in a candle. Bring in a little dish of water. Bring in a crystal or something natural, alive, growing, a cup of dirt. Bring in some air. And you call in those elements and you just welcome them, and you call in the spirits that are associated with those elements. You can be very ritualistic and call in the elements in a certain order. You can call in the angels and the archangels in a certain order. You can use a Native American tradition if that's where you're from and call in the 7 directions on the points of the compass. You can use a pagan, Celtic, blah, blah, blah tradition, whatever fucking tradition you want. I don't give a good goddamn. The whole point here is that we're calling in 4 elements in order to open up sacred space and time. If you ever take a class with me, I go deeper into psychic preparation, grounding, shielding, centering, opening, clearing, calling in the directions, calling in the energies, in various different ways. But I basically just gave you that class. So pour the water and you say, I welcome in the spirits of water and the energies of flow and connection and intuition. I welcome in the spirits of fire and the energies of action and force and will in the season of fire and Aries and the Rams. Thank you, fire. Please join us. Calling in the forces of the earth, symbolized in this gorgeous shimmery labradorite. Hey, labradorite, rainbows on rainbows. Calling in this for grounding, for clarity, for connection to the ancestors. Oh, thanking the spirits of this land for being here today. P.S. You guys, I'm doing this for you as well. We're going to beam heart energy at you as well. So please tell me what you feel, right? If you feel something juicy, delicious, yummy, great. That's the earth. And then calling in the air, these beautiful spirits of the air, calling you in, calling you in, calling you in. So if you're going to do this with me live, try to find a mirror somewhere close by, wherever you are now, because Libra, as an air sign, as the scales, right, realized gorgeous right on the other side of Libra, right? It's a mirror, symmetry. Gemini too, twins, maybe a little bit more, but the idea of self, other, right? Libra, scale. When you think of self versus other, we usually think of that as a separate thing. It's me and it's you, but the cool thing about Libra is that self versus other, equal, balanced on the scales, ain't no difference between us. So that's why I say mirror, seeing yourself in the other, seeing the other in yourself. Okay. So find a mirror if you've got one close by you. You called in your elements. I would just say, imagine a beautiful, potent space of protection around yourself. Like a sphere or an egg or a 3-dimensional shape of some sort. You can also just affirm by saying to yourself, holding your hands on your heart and saying, I'm perfectly protected now. Calling in all of your spiritual guidance, your ancestors, your spirit guides, your spiritual energies, your elementals, fairies, devas. I don't get so specific all the time. I just call in my whole spiritual support team. Once I've been protected, once I've called in the elements, I imagine grounding myself very deeply. And then I state, this is a ritual to honor the full moon. Right? Very simply, this is a ritual to honor the full moon. Bing, bang, boom, done. And what I would ask you to do is take a look in that mirror. I'm going to do it for myself right here with you. And you're going to say the following. I am you. You are me. We are one. I'm going to go to Instagram. I am you. You are me. We are one. And you say that in the mirror as many times as you need to, just to develop that link between yourself and yourself, your small self, your higher self, your individual self, your collective self. Small self, high self, individual, collective. I'm you, you are me, we are one. And then I assert my truth as you assert yours. I am you, you are me, we are one. I assert my truth as you assert yours. I am you, you are me, we are one. I assert my truth as you assert yours. We all got truth here, people. We all have a right to assert it. And then finally, I accept and embrace the highest outcome for all involved. I accept and embrace the highest outcome for all involved. I accept and embrace the highest outcome for all involved. So collectively to both of y'all, if I can do it at the same time. I am you, you are me, we are one. I assert my truth as you assert yours. I accept and embrace the highest outcome for all involved. And one more time. I am you, you are me, we are one. I assert my truth as you assert yours. I accept and embrace the highest outcome for all involved. And then sit with that for a second. See how that makes you feel. See how that vibes with you. See if it changes anything in your body. I give you all of that preamble so that you can see how potent a simple statement like that is. The whole stream today has been to help you feel the meaning that's potent in that. Because when you connect to yourself through the mirror and you connect to your higher self through that mirror, right? I am you, you are me, we are one. Individual self, collective self, little self, big self, right? Personality, soul. You connect to your power. When you assert your truth as everybody else asserts theirs, or when your higher self asserts their truth, right? You are whole, you are perfect, you're fucking amazing. Even while your ego, small self says, you're terrible, you're worthless, you're not good at astrology, right? That's what my small self said to me today. You are balancing out that assertion of Aries with that inclusion and acceptance and reflection of Libra. And then by asserting and stating, I accept and embrace the highest outcome for all involved. We're doing the things that power mongers don't do. Power mongers say, I accept and embrace the highest outcome for myself, because that's the only way that everything can work out, is if it works out for me first. But what people tend to forget is that if Libra wins, then Aries I. Right? If the other balances, if the other wins, right? If diplomacy and democracy and inclusion win, then all the Aries, all the I ams are fine. If we are good, I am good. If I am good, we are not necessarily good. But if we are good, I am good. Ain't that just the truth, though? Isn't that the truth? So the whole point here, I am you, you are me, we are one. I assert my truth as you assert yours. I accept and embrace the highest outcome for all involved. And I would say sit with that. Turn it over in your head. Turn it over in your mind. Pay special attention, because this is a fire season. Aries is a fire sign that we're actually in. Pay special attention to your candle and to your smoke. Gaze at the smoke from your, from your air element. Perfume also works as an air element, although I like to use perfume as ether. But perfume, incense, even just a nice cool breeze, right? You can also, if you don't have implements around you, you can be like, I call in the sun. I call in the breeze. I call in the moisture in the air. I call in the ground beneath my feet. And there you've got your 4 elements for a ritual working. But now that we've done this, so you sit with that for a little while, you meditate on that for as long as you need to, and then you start to offer thanks. You offer thanks to all of those elements of earth, air, water, and fire. Thank you, earth. Thank you, air. Thank you, water. Thank you, fire. Thank you, Great Spirit. Thank you, Mother Earth and Father Sky. Thank you to yourself. Thank you to all of your ancestors and energies which joined with you today. And that's my point. I know I gave you a big old live stream today, but the ritual itself is very petite. And we show up here. Why can't this be a ritual? Oh, yes. Paula's got Moldavite incense burning for us, everyone. Paula Carlotto at Alegria Bazaar. She's burning Moldavite incense for us. Moldavite is a meteor, a stone that came down to Earth in a meteor in Moldavia, darling. And when you put Moldavite with your other stones, it amps them up. And my buddy John Hill, who I do the feels with, the radio show, and Nina Millen, from Circle Gathering, who we all went to Tori Amos together. When they got Moldavite, it made them insane and intense and powerful and crazy, and just gorgeous. Wait a second, come back, silly. In your case, no, I didn't mean to do that. Thanks, Mercury retrograde. Are we back? Hey, cuties, can you see me? I don't know what happened. Let's see. Okay, good. You can see me. Great. Okay, so the vibe is that Moldavite will increase and raise these frequencies and raise these vibrations. We already have a high frequency, high vibration because of the full moon. But if you're vibing high and you like where you're going, jack it up, amp it up. Feels so good. Okay, so now, once you give thanks, you snuff your candle out. Don't blow it out. That's just a little trick that I've used for a long time, because the candle is like a portal to the other side. So you don't want to go like spitting in a portal to the other dimensions. Better to use like a chic a stopper of some sort. I have a wonderful lid. Oh, these are from Paula as well. This is from Alegria. This is an amazing organic candle for protection that's infused with essential oils and beautiful crystal. So we love that. Okay. So if you've got to move on, please do. I'm going to pull some quick cards for you guys, just to offer some readings through the elements. Ooh, sorry, Instagram. Let's see. I gotta get some good cards. What are we gonna work with today? Ooh, shall we use the Crowley deck or the Voyager deck? Which one? I love them both, but which one do you guys want? Voyager, Crowley, Voyager, Crowley. Ooh, sorry, Voyager, Crowley, Voyager, Crowley. Comments, questions, concerns? Voyager, Crowley, Crowley, Voyager. Bueller, Bueller. Anyone? Anyone? Bueller. 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 Anyone? What do you guys want? Someone tell me. Crowley, Voyager. Okay, great. Thank you, Mitch. You win. Mitch wins. Mitch wins. Mitch is the winner. Let's just see. Oh, wait. Okay, sorry, creator studio. So yeah, so basically the ritual is done. So if you got to move on for the ritual. But now I'm gonna give you readings. Fun. We've been going almost an hour. That's quiche. So let's see. Stay tuned for readings through the elements. I just want to make sure I'm doing everything right for you guys. Live control room. That's what we wanted. Cute. We're all good. Okay, great. Wait. Hey, just let me know, cuties on YouTube, you can see me, right? Just make sure. Sorry, guys. I'm just double checking that we're streaming on YouTube and that it's all working okay. Great, you can. Bless you guys. Oh, there's everyone. Hi, everyone. Oh, Latrice. Hi, honey. Yes, Latrice. I'm sorry, guys. I didn't see all of your stuff here. Okay, Ricardo, thank you for voting for Crowley. I didn't see this. That's what I was hoping for. It's cute. We're going to actually go with the Voyager, but then I'll pull you a special card, Ricardo, from the Crowley deck, just for you, okay? So we're giving you... Oh, there it is. There's the Crowley. So we're giving you guys, what's it called? Elemental readings. That's how I like to do this. So we're going to use the Voyager until we get to Ricardo, and then we're going to give him one from the Crowley deck. Special vibes. So we're doing this through the elements. So first I'm going to call Paula. Darling, what did you say? Did you say Crowley too? What? Oh, Paula wants a special reading? What do you want, Paula? Hey sis, hi Lisa, I love you so much. Don't leave because I'm giving a reading. I'm so glad you're feeling well. Oh, okay. Well, my guides are like, wait a minute, everybody's here right now, so why don't you send them some deliciously balancing frequencies? Look, this is a little showy. I feel a little weird about this because I don't want to be like, oh, I'm going to do something so amazing and special right now. It's not that amazing. It's not that special. It's just a transmission of energy through the ether from us to you, from our big heart to your big hearts, okay? So it's just going to be just a moment. What I would ask you to do, I'm going to send you in the name of Libra season, I'm going to send you energy, channeled energy from my heart to yours through this fluorite crystal, okay? Thank you, guys. So through this fluorite crystal, fluorite is really good for balancing the mental and emotional energies through the physical body, right? Bringing in that clear spiritual light, opening the heart, transforming whatever doesn't need to be going on in there. So I'm actually just going to close my eyes and take, 9 deep breaths, right? And with each of those deep breaths, I'm going to send you a wave of energy channeled from spirit. This is not my energy. This is spirit energy, divine energy, white light energy from this moment, from the full moon. with the intention behind it that it gives you whatever balancing, whatever healing you need in this moment of Aries meets Libra with whatever's going on in the middle of it. Just offer for me to use. So all I would ask you to do is to close your eyes. We can close our eyes now and just feel yourself get settled and just tune into your heart and notice if, as this energy starts coming through, you feel anything shifting, anything moving in your subtle bodies, physically, emotionally, mentally, or in your spiritual body, and that general sense of effervescence, of existence, of being, of light. Again, this you don't have to believe that this works, but if it does, it's for you. Okay, so. We're going to start the breaths now. There you go. Whew. There you go, guys. That's 9. I lost some of you. I didn't lose all of you. I just intend to continue letting my freak flag fly as much as it wants to, as much as it needs to. Hey, wow, how funny. That's so funny. It paused on Insta Live. It thought I wasn't doing anything. But I'm back. I hope you guys can see me. I hope you're still there. I don't know how this is going to stream in the end, but now we're just going to go right back into readings for you for the next lunar cycle, for this period between full moon and new moon. So first, the reading for everybody, what to expect from the next couple weeks, right? What to expect from the next couple weeks for yourselves. Okay, very groovy. I know, so funny. Hi, guys. Thanks for coming back. So funny. The vibes paused the feed. Well, I hope you felt something in your heart anyway. It seems like it stayed live on YouTube. So if you missed it, check it out later, right? Check it out later on Insta. I mean on YouTube and at EdibleSpirit.com. Okay. So for the next couple weeks, the card for everybody in the ether. That's how I do the weekly readings, right? Which come out every Sunday. They'll be out tomorrow. Ether is for everybody. Ether this week is, or for the next couple weeks, for everybody, it's the Fool reversed, right? Fool, upside down Fool. Sometimes I feel like an upside down Fool, but the idea is you want to keep a light, a fresh approach. You want to feel, keep that beginner's mind. Let yourself feel like you're doing everything for the first time. Let yourself feel like you're, like it is your first time you're at the rodeo, or like it might as well be your first time at the rodeo. But the cool thing about the Fool reversed is that it's not your first time at the rodeo. It is, but it isn't. It feels like it, but it's not. Or it is, but maybe it doesn't feel like it. See what I mean? That's the vibe of the Fool reverse. So act like a beginner, and you're probably not going to be as inexperienced as you think you are. So that's the vibe for the ether. So it's like, let yourself have some Bambi legs over the next couple weeks. Let yourself not know what's going on. Let yourself not know what's happening, right? Groovy. So then we'll go into the air, the card for the air. Air, it's saying, it says it's the 6 of Worlds, which is synergy. It's this beautiful, wonderful card called Synergy, which is talking about the coming together of things, specifically success in business, right? Success, financial success, material success, but also that Saturn and Mars in Capricorn that we were talking about, which is squared to this full moon. The idea is it's worth it to keep pushing and use that affirmation, use that ritual that we did to keep asserting your truth and asserting your needs, collaborating and working with other people, right, through Libra, and you're going to get a lot of stuff accomplished. So the idea is do go for deliverables in the next couple of weeks, even if it feels tenuous, even if you feel like it's your first time at the rodeo. Like, enjoy, be bold, be practical, be hardcore, go for it, okay? Now, also, for fire children. So fire children, it's saying, just slow your roll ever so slightly, just a little. Oh, P.S. Sorry, I meant to say this. So air, so we did ether first. Air is Libra, Gemini, and Aquarius. So if you're a Libra, Gemini, or Aquarius, that first thing of the six of worlds applies to you. If you are a fire sign, Aries, Leo, or Sagittarius, this is your card, baby. And it's the Sage of Wands, which is a fire card, right? The Sage of Wands represents a kind of knowing, kind of gnosis. I see in the dark, right? I know what I'm doing, even if I can't exactly tell you what I'm doing. I get it. And again, here it's reversed. So don't be a fucking know-it-all for the next couple weeks. You guys have to watch it because you have all of this powerful, fiery energy. My sense is you will accomplish whatever it is that you're setting out to accomplish, but you especially want to use this not water to dampen your flow, but actually air, clarity, to air to increase your clarity. So the idea here is know, understand, that's an air verb, know and understand that you're not necessarily seeing things accurately, that you may be getting beer goggles is what happens when you're drunk. These are almost like blow goggles, like Coke goggles, where you think you're the coolest fucking person because you're high on uncut Colombian puro. I think I used a Coke reference last live stream. Haven't done Coke in a really long time, guys, so sorry about that. But the idea is you're going to be amped up. Your ego's going to be on fire. You're going to be vibrating a little bit more. I am. And so it's almost like just remind yourself that you might not be seeing the whole big picture. You might be seeing whatever is illuminated by the powerful blaze of your ego, of your presence, of your truth, of yourself. You don't need to neuter that presence. You don't need to cut it out. It's just saying here, watch it. Just be careful, because the tendency with fire is to burn, is to burn and to scald and to sear and to scar when it doesn't have an awareness of its perimeter, of its sphere of influence. Okay. Next, water signs. This includes Cancer, Scorpio, and Pisces. A lot of reversals here today. Cool. So for the Cancer, Scorpio, and Pisces, yeah, see, the idea here is that my sense is you want to just get to work. You want to actually not reflect too much. So it's almost like you and we, because I'm a Scorpio sun, we want to use that affirmation as a means of almost like refreshing our browsers or, resetting our software or whatever, so that we can not keep reflecting on my truth versus your truth, and is the past, present, or future, or what's going on. You actually just want to remember everyone, tune into everyone, so that you can get done what you need to get done, work on what you need to work on, okay? And then finally, we're going into Earth. Fun! Earth, you guys get, Earth is Taurus. No, come on, guys. Why? Sorry, you guys. Okay, so last one. Sorry, my live feed went dead on Instagram. It wasn't picking it up for some reason. Sorry again, children. We're back, everyone. Okay, so we were just on to Earth element. Earth is Taurus, Virgo, and Capricorn. Capricorn, Taurus, and Virgo. So if you're an Earth child, Taurus, Capricorn, or Virgo, if you are vibrating the Earth element, your card this week is Devil's Play. And Devil's Play is sort of like It is the devil, but in this deck, it's really great because it's not just the devil as a force. It's the idea that sometimes we have to embody our most devilish tendencies in order to stir the pot, in order to shake shit up. So the idea here is that you guys are getting pinged more so by Saturn and what's it called? Saturn and Mars in Capricorn, right? Get shit done now. The idea with you guys is like, you're already aligned to basically do what you need to do, asserting your truth without being an asshole, right? Do what you need to do as Capricorn, asserting your truth as Aries without being an asshole as Libra. The thing is you guys get to do that, but my sense is that you need to shake things up. You need to stir the pot. You need to get out of your own zone by sort of like, I mean, devil's play would also be symbolized by like dancing under a full moon, trying to raise the spirits while baring your titties, right? It's like, that's devil's play. It's like you let it all out, you go crazy, you get wasted so that you can be human and be normal and like be balanced. Not normal in terms of like, you know, Levittown normal, suburbia normal in terms of like balanced, empowered human being plugged into the universe, right? So use this for the next couple of weeks. It's like, don't just do it's almost like the devil's play for the earth signs is doubling down on the fool child, which was in the ether. All of the cards are in a way, but the devil's play is actually saying, if it's not your first time at the rodeo and yet you feel like you are born anew, don't be so worried about what you're gonna, you know, burn or break through. Chances are you guys aren't gonna hurt anyone if you let yourself go, right? Because your devil's play in the earth signs is almost like supported by the frequency, the harmony that's going on between Aries and Libra in the moon, right? In the moon cycle. So go crazy, let your hair down, be a little wild. Water children, don't dwell too much. Don't like look for the flaws. Don't look for the issues. Just try to check in. Don't reflect for too long. That's what it was. It was the Two of Worlds, right? The Two of Pentacles. If you're constantly rearranging, you're never going to get comfortable. If you're constantly analyzing and searching and probing, you're never going to find peace, right? You dig for a minute and then you chill for a minute. So fire children, you might not be seeing the whole big picture. So don't go too crazy, right? Don't act like you got it all figured out, because you might be missing some of the finer details, both externally and internally. And air signs, go whole hog, you know, keep working, keep fighting, keep moving, keep trudging along, because feels like things are going to come together in the next couple of weeks and actually pay off for you in a lot of really, really good ways. Because even though we all feel like beginners during this season of the Fool Child, we've been here before. We've been to this moment before, cycles of time. And that's the thing I'll last leave you with, is that we check in with these cycles of time regularly, because it affirms that the moon has been moving at this rate for as long as, you know, recorded history, as far as we know, you know, that these calculations, even though astrology seems so esoteric and the planets seem so far away, they move by math. They sound with the frequencies of, you know, a piano or a voice. You know, we are all connected via these vibrational matrices of experience and existence. So just remember that we plug in with this so that we can plug into what's been going on long before us and what will continue long after us, simply because that works. So we're giving this one last card to our buddy. I hope he's still watching. Ricardo Sweat Rodriguez. That's him. Yay. Okay. I hope you're still there, Ricardo. And we'll give this to Ricardo, and then we'll pull. Well, let's just see how that works. That's for Ricardo. This is for Ricardo. Okay. So Ricardo, you may be in the mire. You may be feeling crappy. You may be feeling disappointed, like all the milk has been spilt, like all of the feelings are all over the place. But what's really cool is that this card is reversed. The card is called Disappointment in the Crowley deck. It's the 5 of Cups. It's reversed. So it's telling us that even though it feels like things are not ideal, they are better than you think. Mars in Scorpio is what this card is about. Fire and water. So it's unpleasant, but fives also represent a moment of transition. So just pay a little bit of attention to what I was saying regarding Pisces and regarding what we went through in February and March, and the idea that whatever you let go of during that time, whatever was taken away from you, whatever died, whatever was released during that time, it may still be breaking your heart, but new growth is already underway. Fire is already, popping off, taking off, and it's going to carry us through this next season. So take heart. Try not to be too disappointed. Recognize that you are feeling very natural feelings of sadness, emotion, inertia, depression, any of those heavy feelings of disappointment, which are a very natural part of the grieving process, of the transition between what was before and what comes after. It hurts as bad as you think, but it's not as bad as you think. Not anymore. It may have been before, but it isn't anymore. And then, let's just see. Thank you. Just so everybody else gets included. We'll give everybody else one more Crowley card. Okay, great. So in general, this is again for the next couple weeks. Don't play by the rules. It's the Emperor reversed. It's the sign of Aries, right? Emperor is Aries. We've got the Lamb on here, rebirth, the father, the king, mastery over the earth, definitions, rules, structures. We got to know them so we can break them, right? We don't need to go by the rule book. But the rules are there, like the scales in music, so that we can improvise and play jazz. All of my teachers and the way that I teach, I want to get right to the jazz. I want you to play jazz. I want me to play jazz. I want us to jam out. I want our spirits, our souls, our hearts to vibe with each other. That's the goal here. But if you don't at least acknowledge the scales, right, you can't be free. You can't play free. So be brave, be bold, be solid, be free. Structure and security from the earth, right? That's how we started talking about this. Structure and security from the four elements, earth, air, water, fire, is what allows that fifth element of ether to be released, right? Oh, and check this out. Super fun. I think you may have seen this a minute ago, but this was the card that we pulled for Ricardo. And the what's cool about it is that it's so upsetting, but when you turn it right side up, there's the pentagram, right? There's the symbol of the four elements plus the fifth element, earth, air, water, fire, and ether. So it's either it just depends on how you look at it. So we acknowledge the four in order to open up the five. We acknowledge the four elements in order to open up the fifth element of spirit. So be brave, be bold, know the rules, but by all means, rise above them, transcend them. Rule breakers. Happy Easter, happy Passover, happy new world, a new season, new birth, new life. I'll be doing another one of these streams, I guess, in a couple weeks. Thank you all for tuning in. This has been fun. And we will see you very soon. I will be at That's a Retrograde tonight. That's a Retrograde live tonight, the 31st at Wanderlust in Hollywood, doing aura picks. If you want to do any of these kinds of creative offerings with you and yours, please don't hesitate to DM, to reach out, to email info@ediblespirit.com. And then the Elements of Spirit, my weekly reading series, will be out tomorrow. youtube.com/ediblespirit. You'll find it there. And what else? I'll be in New York starting April 15th. Probably going to have some more cute stuff over the course of the next week. Oh, next Thursday, if you are a Sirius subscriber, if you watch, if you are in the car, if you drive around and you have a Sirius subscription and you don't know, I am on once a month on Radio Andy, channel 102 on Sirius. Usually it's either the first or the last Thursday. This month it's the first Thursday of April. So it's the 5th of April, 4 p.m. Pacific, 7 p.m. Eastern, and then they air again at 7 and 10, respectively. And we do live readings. So if you want to have a live reading, you can call in, you can ask questions, and John and I will be there for the hour just doing our thing. Let's see. Anything else? Oh, just for what it's worth, if you're in New York and you've been with me this long, planning on doing an Aurapix portrait sitting at Theater for the New City on the 21st of April. So I'll have a few of my healer buddies there. We'll be focusing on the Aurapix, but we'll also be offering healings and readings by donation. All the proceeds going to benefit Theater for the New City and a charity which we're still in the process of securing. Okay, love you guys so much. Have the most beautiful, beautiful day. Share this ritual with everybody that you know who you think will benefit from it, and most of all, just do it yourself because that's how we spread this vibe. I love you so much. Love you so much. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. Ciao bellos.